human. The boy Jamie. Me too from Andra.
Of course.
I'm in school. You want me to say, oh no. Everything's okay.
Then you transport all these emotions to the child because the child is in the classroom.
I'm saying, but that's what I've been happening. I'm talking when we were in school. Yes. So the child beat him. Yes. The way they beat this guy, I'm not sure it's because of what he said.
You know,
Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to PotBellyTV. I'm your host, Mr. Jakpata. On this episode, we are going to dive into balancing of work with entrepreneurship. My guest on the show is Sandra Anson. She's an educator with the GES, Ghana Education Services, and also an entrepreneur. She manages her own business. With this episode, we are going to talk about the life of a teacher, a day-to-day, what teachers go through, and their achievements with their students. And also, talk about how she merges businesses with teaching. Stay tuned to PotBelly. Don't change it down. Welcome to the show, Sandra. So,
thank you.
I don't know, why teaching? You could have become a nurse.
Teaching, because I love kids. I really love kids, and the way they play around, the way they get attached to people, that drove me to becoming a teacher. But for nursing, I get scared the moment I see blood. Although I can care for people, but the blood parts didn't allow me to be a nurse. But my love for kids brought me this far to be a teacher.
Okay, so tell a bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Sandra, as you know, and I'm an educator and an entrepreneur. And I also have some businesses and a proprietress with Ensabel currently, and I'm with GES. So I blend the two, and also have some petty businesses that I do. Yeah, so basically that is me. Yeah.
And then your 9 to 5 is not enough for you.
Just as you are saying, it's not easy, but man got to do what he has to do.
Yeah. As today, you know, the topic is balancing work with the teaching prof. Yes. Okay. So is it when you can go to an university and you become a teacher, or no. How did you give us a journey?
No. If you want to be a teacher, you have to find yourself with a training college or find yourself in the education universities.
Okay.
University of Education, UCC. You can find yourself in any of these educational institutions, and that is when you have a very good grade from the secondary cycle. Then you can transfer yourself or get an admission in any of the institutions that have or offering education courses. Then you can be a teacher or an educationist or an educator.
Okay, so when you are done with school, then you apply to GES, then they wait for the posting, or?
When you are done with any education institution, if it's a degree, or if you go through this universities, then it means that you have to apply to GES.
Okay.
To become a teacher with GES, or find yourself with any of these private institutions, or private teaching institutions. Yes. But if you go through the training colleges, then it means that automatically you can be posted to any educational institutions within the GES. Then it means you become a teacher with GES. But for any university, you have to find your way, apply. So it means it's open book for you when you go to the universities. Then if it is the training colleges, then you can be posted.
Okay. Okay, so I heard about some licensure. You have to have a license to apply to the GES. I don't know if it applied to every teacher in Ghana, because we had issues. I don't even quite remember, after COVID, there was this issue of all teachers are supposed to provide their licensure or something too. How did you handle those situations?
Oh, okay. So I think with time after COVID, if I stand to be corrected, I knew that we have the National Teaching Council coming in to stabilize the teaching system. So with this, they brought about this licensure program where every teacher has to write the licensure based, especially if you want to come into the education, the Ghana education system. You need to write licensure exams before you be able to get into the education system with the GES. Yeah, so that's what I can say. But if you are with a private institution, I don't think it's something, a mandatory thing for you to write the licensure.
Okay.
Unless you want to come into the Ghanaian system, that's the Ghana education system.
Okay.
And it means you need to have your license currently, licensure, then your university certificates, then you can apply to become a teacher with GS.
So tell us your teaching philosophy. How do you go by it?
Okay. Teaching as a whole, for me personally, you need to have fun in the class. So for me, I have a philosophy that every lesson should be fun-based, and it should be with, the attention should be with the learner. Because if you have all these incorporated in your lesson, you have a very wonderful class. And interestingly, the children will get involved in your class. So I have this philosophy that lets the children be active in your lessons. So it's supposed to be an active lesson, or you should have an active learner in your class.
Okay. So when we come to the classroom, how do you manage this case? What are some of the strategies that you put in place to motivate them in class?
Okay, so you know, as a teacher, you need to plan your lesson.
Okay.
You need to plan your lesson, and that is the key factor. And once you plan your lesson, it means that in that lesson you have made provisions for all abilities in the classroom. So it's like you've differentiated in your lesson. You have this differentiated instructions or strategies. So before you get to the class, you have prepared to cater for everybody in the classroom. So when you get to the class, you are going by your lesson plan, right? So you have how to use materials, when to bring the children on board to do presentations, work in groups, so that everybody finds him or herself in a space and feel wanted in the classroom. So at the end of the day, the classroom becomes so lively and everybody feels belonged to in the classroom.
When it comes to discipline too, how do you handle the discipline situation?
The discipline issue.
Because I quite remember when we were there, when they will strip your buttocks, they'll strip your buttocks, they'll strip your back. But now I've seen that everything has changed now.
It has changed. I can say it's for good and for bad in a way. Because currently we don't use cane.
Okay.
As a first that you can, when a child is misbehaving, you can just get some strokes at the buttocks. But now you are not supposed to use a cane, either in GES or any private institution. It's been forbidden. But rather you try to use measures, we call it correctional measures, to help the children be disciplined. So let's say in a classroom where the child is misbehaving, if the child misbehaving likes to talk a lot, then it means you, the teacher, will not be posing questions for the child to be able to answer, or you don't call the child.
Yeah.
So the child feels ignored in a way. So you see, it's try to civilize the situation in the classroom. So he or she finds out or comes into notice that no, my teacher has noticed my misbehavior, so I have to change. Or you made the child do something extraordinary, which you know the child cannot do. So you give the child extra tasks.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you let the child write. So in a way, you're developing the child's writing ability. In a case where the child's handwriting is even bad, you help the child to correct his or her handwriting. So we have so many correctional measures that we use now. Some might not be working.
Yeah.
Some will work for you.
Okay, so if you have in a situation where the kid is really stubborn, like you've done the first one, it didn't work. You try the second one, it doesn't work. Is there? I've heard there's a FaceTime or time off or what? You'll be facing the wall. Or you don't use those.
All these are in a way not in the code of conduct for the children. You're not supposed to use them.
Wow.
But some teachers use them because you're a teacher, you're human, so you get frustrated sometimes. So you can just let the child stand at a corner.
Okay.
So for some few minutes. And let me tell you, there are some learners or there are some students, it will not even help. They will be fooling them. So you would have to, I think most of the times, asking them more questions, giving them more extra tasks, rather stabilizes the situation.
Because you know that when it's fooling them,
there'll be more questions or there'll be more tasks for him or her to do.
Okay.
But in a case when it's extreme, I think you have to take the child to the headmistress or the headmaster. Yeah. And we have a book where they write.
Okay.
Yes, they write in there. So if it is like continuously, let's say first, second, third, it means that the child's parent needs to be called.
Now,
it's
another question that I always want to find out is, you see now we are in the technology era. So how are you guys blending that with the modern, the old system? How are you guys merging the
two? Oh, that's quite an interesting one. You know, currently we are using these digital systems in the schools because, as you said, we are in a technological world, 21st century. Everybody is using technology.
Yeah.
So we need to. So we are doing it, although we don't have the facilities.
Okay. The materials.
Yes, although we don't have the facilities, but at least we are having people coming in to help, and it's really helping. So we have tablets, we have projectors in the schools, we have the Bluetooth devices.
Yes.
So when you are teaching, you incorporate all these things in your lesson. As I said, you plan.
Yeah.
So when you're planning, you get some videos of whatever you want to teach.
Okay.
Supposing you want to teach about human systems, it means you get a video of human systems and you show it to the children in the class with the help of the projector. So the children see and they grasp it very well. Yeah, they grasp it very well. So currently, I'm sure almost 70% of schools, both in GES and private sectors, they are using the digital system because that is really helping the children, and they even know more than we know.
Yeah, it's true. Because of their parents, what they do at home.
Yes.
Now, a lot of kids have these devices and also.
And I can tell you that with these digital systems, we have the teachers' laptop, which most of the teachers are now using to teach the learners. So they download a lot of videos, materials on it, and they use it when they go to the classroom. So yes, we are using this digital systems very, very well in the classroom. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us your class size. Do you handle a small size or a larger size?
Oh, it's a large size.
Should I put numbers? 10 is small. 100 is large.
Okay, so it's not 100, so it's within the range. So it's not.
Okay, so you provide materials for all these classes. So whether it's small or it's large, the same lesson materials for them, or different size with different lessons.
Oh, of course. So you plan according to what you have. So if it is small, you know what kind of materials you are sending. If it is realious, you know how you are going to group the learners. So if it's a large class, you know that maybe you go in for the digital system where they will watch videos.
Okay.
Yeah, you use a projector to project whatever you want to communicate or impact to the learners.
Okay.
So you mix them. You mix whatever things that you want to use to teach.
Okay.
Yeah.
For homework, what role does a homework play in a student's life?
Homework plays a very key role in every child's life, every student. Because after the teacher teaches, the homework is a way to find out whatever the teacher thought you understood.
Okay.
So it's a feedback to the teacher. So when the teacher gives you a homework, it helps you, the learner, go home, sit and do it and reflect on whatever you were taught. So the feedback or from whatever you bring from home, that is where the teacher will know that, oh, whatever I thought, the child didn't understand. Or, oh, wow, the child really understood. Yes, so homework is very, very key.
So there was
and it also keeps the child busy.
So there was this joke that a teacher gave homework to the kid and the kid took it home and he was having issues and he gave it to the dad. Then the dad didn't. Sometimes you have to collaborate, the two of them. And the dad did the homework for the kid. Now the next day the kid came home crying. That's why. He got 0. so with such situation, do the teacher do more to find out if the kid didn't understand, or you just go with the flow?
You know, funny enough, kids always speak the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, kids always speak the truth. So if you know each learner in the class.
Okay.
You know each learner in the class and you know what they are capable of.
Okay.
So if that child in question is very good and brings homework and everything goes wrong, then it means it raises an alarm for you, the teacher.
Okay.
So you call the child and ask what went wrong. So maybe from the conversation, you realize maybe either the child didn't understand or he or she will tell you, I didn't do the homework, my mom did it.
Okay.
Or my dad did it. So that's when automatically you know that this is the issue on board. And if the child didn't understand, then maybe you get a remediation thing for the child.
So a follow-up question to that. So how do you handle kids who are struggling emotionally and academically?
The child who is if it's emotional, I mean, you get closer to the child. Conversation is very, 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 very important in teacher-learner interaction. You need to know your learner. You need to know your student.
Okay.
Have a very good rapport with them. So sometimes, without you knowing, you have a counseling session with the child. Because asking the child questions, him or her trying to tell you what is happening at home, in a way you are counseling the child and the child feels so wanted. If the child is not having a motherly love or something, you are creating that for the child. So automatically you are helping the child emotionally. And when the child has a problem with it psychologically, emotionally, and you create that kind of relationship with the child, he or she tends to do well in the class. So it's in a way that's what I do most of the times.
But with all this, do you I don't get it. So do they train you guys on this, or you have to pick it up as you become a teacher and you have to pick this?
No. You do psychology in school.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether you go to training college or you go to the universities.
Okay.
You have a course on that.
Okay, but after school, do they train
after school you learn on the job. And also we have professional development during the times we have in-service trainings. So it's been done in the schools. Yeah, and we have counselors too in the schools. So sometimes if it is over, you just refer the child to the school counselor.
Okay, with growth mindset. So as you're saying, so when you find out the kid is not following up, what are some of the steps you put in place to help the kid?
If the child is not doing well in the class. So you, as I said, you create a remediation thing for the child.
Okay.
So if the child is not able to read, it means you, the teacher, should have, let's say, find time. Then you have one-on-one.
Is it like extra classes or just?
Yeah, extra. It can be extra classes.
Okay.
It can be your personal time to help the child to develop. Yeah. So aside that, you also communicate with the parents to find, as you said, maybe a teacher for the child to help at home. Then you, the teacher, also helps in the class, as I said. You find that maybe in the breaks, the child forfeits them. You let the child read for you to find out if the child is picking up gradually. Yeah.
So do you have a situation like this where it's, let's say, it's as a brochure, you yourself, you are going through emotional crisis. Then how do you overcome all this to help a child or a teacher, a learner who is going through emotional and academically? Because I know you are humans.
So that is really something else. But you know, we have this saying that you don't bring your troubles to the school.
Everybody says this. even at my work, they'll say, put all your problems out. But people will bring yes and
that is the thing. You came to work, and the child is in question your priority in there. So as a teacher, you have permission. If you have troubles, you have to tell your head that today you are not emotionally stable.
Okay.
You are not emotionally stable. Then you can be excused.
Okay. So they'll bring a substitute teacher.
Yes. To fill in.
Because I was about to say that I'm human. You boy join me. Of course. I'm in school. You want me to say, oh no, everything is okay.
And then you transport all these emotions to the child because the child is not in the classroom.
I'm saying, but that's what I've been happening. I'm talking when we were in school. So the child beat him. The way they beat this guy, I'm not sure it's because of what he said.
You know, everybody once in a while face some mentally disorders.
Yes.
Because we are humans, as you said. There are times that day you'll be off key and you can't accommodate everybody in the class. And you know, in the class, as I said, individual differences. Everybody also has his own problem. So it means when you are coming in, you have planned your lesson and you are not emotionally fit, my dear, you will not be able to deliver. So you need to be excused of duty. Yeah.
So that's GS. Do you go through this seminars? Do they offer these seminars and workshops? Maybe let's say professional development programs. Have they set these things for you guys?
Yes. Currently, we have PLCs every Wednesdays in every institution in the GS.
What is PLC?
Professional learning communities.
Okay.
So during this time, teachers or colleagues share whatever they do in the class, whatever you are teaching that we are not really getting it. So we will bring it on board, then we help you through. So it's like we teach ourselves. Then once in a while we invite resource personnel to come in to teach us new things. Yes, so we learn on the job. So we get a lot of information, the current things that is being used in the teaching field. During these times, we have once in a while we have a general CPD, like a general PLC for each teacher, where in each district there will be a center for us to go and learn a particular topic. So let's say it can be on classroom management. We learn more things about classroom management at a large space. So we do.
How effective is PTA?
It's very effective. PTA is very effective in every school because that's a way for the teachers and the parents together with the community know ourselves. So when we open school, I mean, maybe let's say within the first 2 weeks, a PTA is held. Then teachers and parents communicate on the things that we are supposed to do. Then previously what we wanted to do and we have not been able to do. monetary aspects, what's the parents going to help us with. So we communicate. If there are some indisciplines in the school, how are we going to handle it as a whole, both the teachers and the parents? So we have a communication, and in a way it helps.
So is it parent teachers association or parent teachers assessment?
It's parent teachers association.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a PT and there are tax. You can have
left and right.
Yes, and you can have a parent talking about. He said that the kid used some foul language and he's not happy about it, and he's surprised. Yeah, you know it's the kid, but he's surprised the teachers don't do anything about it. So they were also back and forth, and I think this PTA issue need to really. And again, my next. So have you taught a kid that you've met after school that who has showed appreciation or gratitude to you?
Oh yes, and that's the joy of teaching. The joy of teaching is to see a child that knew nothing about learning how to even write his or her name. You take the child through all this, and the child completes and calls you back and say, "Madam, thank you." That alone, it's a joy on its own. And when you see the child improving, going forward in life, and you become so happy. So yes, I've seen a couple of them.
And have their parents also show?
Oh, sure. I used to have a child who was very, very troublesome, and this child, when when he completed, the parents was a soldier, so they moved out.
Okay.
Yeah. Recently, the mom called. Was I didn't even know the person talking. They said, "Oh, this is the Asimesi boy," and I was, "Oh wow!" Said the child have been missing me. They missed me, so they were calling to find out how I am and all that. And I was so happy. I was so glad. So of course, I've seen a couple of them. I mean, if they move from even your class to another level,
yes,
they show appreciation. And you get some students even telling you that I want to be like you when I grow up. Madam, I want to be like you, the way you teach, the way you interact with us. I love to be like you. And that is the joy of being a teacher, because you see your students you talk to and they have changed in terms of character-wise. They've changed and they are doing well. If they are moving in the wrong direction, you corrected them, and they are now doing well and they've changed in a good direction. I mean, it brings so much joy to you as a teacher. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll move a bit from teaching.
Okay.
Now, so from our earlier conversation, you said you're an entrepreneur and you have business. So drive us through it. What type of business and what do you do there?
Business there, Charlie. You know, Ghana be hustle town, so I do a lot of business like selling items, pastries, baking, and also I'm handling my, let's say, a family business.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a school. Yeah. So basically, yeah.
So with the school, are you the proprietress or the administrator, or you teach there too?
No, I don't teach there.
Okay.
You know, I can't teach there. I don't teach there. So I manage things there. Okay. So I can say I'm an administrator.
Okay.
There. Yes. And also, let's say the proprietress, because I make sure that everything is being done right.
Okay.
Yeah. I put measures in place.
Okay, so how do you manage this too? So you do the school. I don't know if it's 9 to 5, or yours is different. yours is two.
No.
Okay,
so I, as I said, it's a family business. So I have someone taking care of it.
Okay.
But I give key instructions as to what is supposed to be done.
Off-site administrator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So with the business too, is it the same with the business too? You have people working for you and you give the instructions. or you handle those yourself?
For that, I with the ones I sell, I have people handling it for me.
Okay.
Yes, but the ones I make,
Okay.
I do it myself. Yeah.
So
with the ones I make, like the spring rolls, like the samosas, the pastries, the drinks.
Okay.
Yes, I do them. Then as and when the person needs it, of course, then I deliver. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean you can be in school, somebody wants something, you give the instruction.
Yes, and it to be delivered to the person.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, do you add technology to your business?
Of course, it's technology, because the person sends you, maybe even if it's a WhatsApp, it's technology, right?
Okay.
Call, all these, and I also use the platforms, the WhatsApp platforms, to advertise the product. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So with that, do you breach something with GS, or is it allowed, or you just you don't mix your business with the teaching?
No, of course, you are not supposed to even sell. The GS rules.
Okay.
You're not supposed to sell during the contact hours. You're not supposed to. Yeah. So as I told you, I do that as a side job.
Side job. Okay.
Yes. So if I'm in school, the items are home.
Okay.
And if the person sends message or calls, for calls, I take calls during breaks and all.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm permitted to take calls.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the person needs it, and I have another person who takes my calls.
Okay.
Yes. So
like a customer service.
Yeah, customer service. It's a sister who does that for me.
Okay. So you have a team also playing role at. So now, what you learn in the classroom, do they sometimes affect, or do
it rather helps?
Okay.
It rather helps because you plan your lesson, and in your business you plan.
Yes.
So in the class you plan to make sure that everybody fits in. Of course, when I'm making my products, my samosas, and I take into considerations my customers. Individual, like someone likes pepper, someone doesn't like pepper. So you have to concentrate and find make sure that you give room for everybody. You satisfy your customers.
Okay.
So in a way, teaching helps me to learn more, and also I have contact with parents, family, friends. So in school, you get to know more about people. Children, they teach you a lot.
Yeah.
They teach you a lot. So you also use that in your
I know one thing, that is patient.
Yes, of course.
Patient.
And you know, with this business, someone can just call you and just give it to you and you just be calm. I wanted this and you serve me that, but you become, because you've developed that patience from kids.
Yes.
Because kids can just push you to the wall like this, but you're not supposed to touch the child. So
now patience. With that, we come back to another major point that a lot of us don't talk about: stress. How do you manage stress with this? With two different careers and two different occupations.
It's not easy, my brother.
So I know there's stress when you're an entrepreneur. There's stress when you're in a teaching classroom. A lot
more
of stress.
So
how do you balance the two?
Yeah, you have to balance. In fact, you need to, because if you don't, then the stress will overcome you, and you don't need to be stressful, because if you are stressed, how would you teach someone's child? So how I manage my stress.
So what are some of the ways you have?
In fact, I don't joke with my holidays.
Okay.
Anyone who knows me knows I don't joke with my holidays. I have to find a place to relax, have fun, have social life. Okay. Yes, I make time for my social life, because that is what helps me to be stress free. Okay. So I go out a lot for excursions, sightseeing, and it really helps. It really helps. Sometimes I just go for a sitting with friends. We take some things, then we talk about life, and it releases.
So what about if you are stressed in the classroom? Maybe whilst teaching, after you're done teaching, sometimes you feel stressed. Might even feel some pain here. So how do you
migraine.
Yes. So how do you manage these situations?
So what for me personally, what I normally do is that I tell my colleague, then I go to the library and relax a little. When I say relax, I just put my head down a little. Yeah, so after some few minutes or yeah, an hour, I'll be fine. Because you are human, so you don't need to stress it when you feel that you're having something. And as I said earlier on, if you think it's more or it's over you, you can just go to the head and seek for permission, then move out. You don't sit in there because you'll not be able to produce.
Yeah. So you said have a situation where a parent is unhappy how his kid or her kid has been treated, maybe approach you.
Yeah, yeah.
So have there been any instance, have you experienced or have a colleague experienced that you have to come in to calm things?
You know, dealing with humans per se, it's something else. So, and the customer is always right.
Yes.
It applies to teaching too. So when the parent comes in with that kind of anger, you need to be accommodating.
Yes.
You need to be accommodating. And I always say that kids can let you do something you're not supposed to do.
Yes.
So you just need to have patience. Because a child can pick this thing that doesn't belong to him or her and take it home,
Yeah.
claiming it is his. But you, the parent, should know your child.
Yes.
As a teacher too, you need to know your child. And know how to handle it. The same way if someone picks your child's thing home, you need to know how to handle it. You don't just come in to the school and start having a very stressful conversation with the teacher, claiming that we have just allowed someone to steal your child's item. Are you getting me? So in a way, we have had a lot of incidents where the parents come seeing that the child's items are lost, and when we weren't able to take care of that. But you need to just calm things and tell the parents that it's not you, but the child was irresponsible in a way. But you have to be calm enough to talk to the parents.
Do you feel the teaching skills and tools were the things will help you in creating your business?
Yeah. Of course, it has really helped me because, for starters, I love baking. I love baking, and my mom was a caterer, so I took that from her. And you know, kids love sweets and pastries.
Yeah.
So I developed that, and I started with this pastry thing because I saw that it could really help me to earn more. And as I said, you can't sell in the school.
Yes.
But the parents can be your customers.
Customers, exactly.
Yes, the parents can be your customers.
The
teachers
yes.
can be your customers.
True.
Yes, and family-wise, you can get customers. So, in a way, teaching.
So how long have you been doing the business?
If I say this, you will laugh, but during COVID, then we were given that whole year.
So you have freedom. No teacher.
Yes, and you although we were like getting the pay, but I realized that
enough.
no, I have to do something.
Yes.
Because when we were home, I saw that I had this talent, and why am I not utilizing it? Then I started. So it was during COVID that I started doing my pastry business.
But what about the school?
Yes. So
the school
also during the COVID.
Hey,
I gathered the children. Yes, I gathered the children in my neighborhood with my sister, and we started doing this classes, home tuition for them. And the parents were so happy. The children were doing well. They were claiming that these children were not performing in schools that they were paying huge sums. So they even gave us that kind of encouragement to start the school. So we started in our couch, in the hall. Yes. Then we moved to the veranda. Now we have
So I'll say in the future, I'll tell my colleagues that I have a friend who started his school with 5 kids. Or they are not 5. They are not 5 kids. Now they are about 1,000 kids.
And God willing, sure, you reach there.
So how many numbers do you guys start with?
We started with was 10. Was 10.
And now they are.
We are to 100.
Wow. You see, it's somebody will say consistent. You have to be consistent and you have to be patient and prayerful and put in the effort.
Yes. And I can say that my siblings and I'm happy we had that collaboration and idea that we utilized it, and now it's yielding profits for us.
And the name of the institution is?
It's Ensabel Preschool.
Located at?
Ablekuma in Sunfa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for your business, there's
everywhere
no location everywhere.
Everywhere you go. You just need to contact me and it will be right at your doorstep.
So now we'll conclude with this conversation. Your teaching career didn't end you with just teaching.
No.
It's elevates you to start an entrepreneur
business
journey. So now you are an entrepreneur and you're a teacher as well.
Yeah.
So can you advise, what will be your advice to the young ones who want to venture into both, whether being an entrepreneur, it shouldn't limit you.
Yeah, of course.
Being a teacher should also it shouldn't limit you on that.
Yeah.
So your advice on that.
And so what I can say is that any profession at all that you find yourself, you need to create your own thing that you have passion for.
Yes.
You have passion for, and in a way it's going to yield results.
Yes.
It's going to yield results. So irrespective of where you find yourself, try and develop something that you love, and that is entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Then you utilize whatever ideas that you have. Then in a way it starts yielding profits for you. So with me, I took the pastry aspect, and not only the pastry, anything that I get, I sell them. Yeah. So I'm with the buying and selling too.
Yeah, I know. You started your girls' clothing and
yes. So if I get perfumes, I sell them. If it is shoes, I sell them. Dress, I sell them. Even biscuits.
Everything.
Yes, everything
for girls.
Yes, for girls, I sell them. So I mean, you need to. And in terms of, if you want to be a teacher too, I mean, just find yourself in any of the training colleges, then educational institutions, and trust me, you love the job. Teaching is a wonderful job. Yeah. Because you are always learning.
Yes.
And it's one profession that you can just divert anytime you want to, because you are always learning. You are always with the books.
And one time, quite a lot of philosophies, and even Jesus was a teacher.
Of course.
Muhammad was a teacher. Gandhi was a teacher.
Yes, of course. And I tell you, all my parliamentarians that we see now, they were once a teacher. Trust me, being a teacher, it's you love the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sandra, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
PotBelly really appreciates your effort.
Yeah.
And my guest on the show was Sandra Anso.
Yeah.
She's an educator with the GUS and also an entrepreneur. And she's also the proprietress for Ensabel Preschool. And she's the CEO for Ensabel Catering Services. We had a nice conversation. Our topic was about balancing work as in teaching to entrepreneurship. Catch us on the next episode. PotBelly.